Hey Raghunath, tell everyone about our Patreon community.
Sure, Kastuba. The Wisdom of the Sages Patreon community is an incredible online yoga resource. If you like the type of yoga wisdom and culture we share on the show, then our Patreon community is a great next step. This is a listener-supported podcast, and any level of sponsorship will unlock a wide range of live and archived classes, talks, and even workshops.
Raghunath teaches, I teach, and we have a host of other excellent teachers on topics ranging from yoga philosophy, asana classes, storytelling, Ayurveda, kirtan, cooking, meditation, and a lot more.
We even have an incredible online Bhakti 12-step recovery group.
So if you want to check it out, go to patreon.com/wisdom of the sages.
All right, let's get it on.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Live from Super Soul Farm, this is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily yoga podcast with your host, Raghunath, and co-host and senior educator at the Bhakti Center, New York, Kastuba Das. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to Monday. It's a makeover Monday. Whatever happened last week is over. It's a new week. It's a new day. We're not going to hold ourselves to what we did last week. We're going to find out, what are we doing today? How can I improve the quality of today? And then we take that every day, one day at a time, working to upgrade our life. Welcome to Kastuba, still meandering around the holy land of Mayapur, bathing in the Ganga while we're roughing the cold out here in the Northeast, doing our duty. I think I'd be doing my duty more if I was with you, actually. I should have been roughing it. Well, I guess I'm a parent. That counts. I got a parent.
You got to do parenting, but as soon as you got there, your kids took off.
I know. As soon as I got here, they took off.
You could have stayed here.
Yeah, we're just with...
You know, speaking of makeover, I got to say, Mara's hair, it's looking long and luxurious. And,
it's Malibu Mara.
I mean,
It's
did
Malibu.
you do something? Are you wearing a wig? What happened? How did it change so fast? It snuck up on me.
Yeah, I don't usually wear it down. It's grown out a little.
Oh, that's what you do. Okay.
She looks lovely.
How do you usually have it? In the back?
Pigtails, pony, a bun.
No.
Matronly.
Really? Okay. Generally, I notice these things.
Yeah, it's a Malibu Mara. She's bronze, long, flowing, sun-kissed hair, and
with the
skin.
bangs, it's got a 60s thing going on.
The bangs, yeah, it's got the Betty Boop. Is that it?
No, what are you talking about?
Hare Krishna. Okay. You know what I have been doing? I've been watching the punk rock vegan movie by Moby. If you haven't seen that yet, there's a lot of Krishna references. And I will go out on a limb to say that Krishna consciousness had a huge effect in not just changing punk rock, but changing the whole climate around animal rights and vegetarianism, veganism. And the seed was planted in the 60s by Prabhupada. It was a very big, important thing, which is a very normal thing. It's very much in the conversation now, is like, is this vegan? Does this have any animal products? Is there meat in this? You know, and these huge chains like Burger King and McDonald's considering, we need a vegan option for vegans that come with a party of people. We got to do something for them. And I will say, we're going to throw some credit at the Hare Krishna Movement for introducing it wherever they went.
Thank you, Hare Krishna Movement.
Thank you, Hare Krishna Movement. The times they are changing. Check out Moby's punk rock vegan movie. I think it's worth us promoting and putting out there a little bit. And it's free on YouTube. And leave comments.
You know, the Hare Krishna Movement have distributed millions of books that speak on this theme, right? Including books that speak on it directly. At length.
That was a big book for me. The Higher Taste was a big book.
The Higher Taste is a powerful book.
I was like, it's a simple book with half of its recipes. And the other half is like the importance of seeing. Here's the deal. There's two people. I want health. The meat industry is not healthy. The other one is like, I like dogs. I don't want to kill a cow. But it's within this Sanatan Dharma, this Vedic philosophy that says, well, is why don't we want to kill them? It's giving some reason underneath it all. They're spiritual
Not just
entities.
pure sentimentality, but like
Yeah, it's like they're spiritual entities, and we need to learn to be compassionate towards spiritual beings, because everybody deserves dignity. And this is an ongoing theme in living life, in living a progressive life, in justice for all. See, I can't claim there can be human justice and neglect every living entity. We have to see ourselves as bigger than that, and part of something much, much bigger. And I will say this Vedic philosophy, which was really almost ordered by our Param Guru, Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Swami, like, you got to get this message out to these people. And there it was. I got a higher taste. I read it. And that actually, between that book and Animal Liberation by Peter Singer, I was a changed man.
okay. And then you brought it into your music.
Yeah, you never know. And that's the beautiful thing about the ripple effect is we change. When we change the world. And we all have some type of influence. Some people have a massive influence. Some have a medium influence. Some have a tiny little influence. But whatever it is, it's when we make these choices of integrity, it's not just us that are changing. It's all the people that look towards us. And whether you believe it or not, people are looking at you, and they're taking notes, and they're and what, as the Gita says, if you're really an influencer, the Gita doesn't say that. It says yad yad acharati shreshtas. What great people do, common people say, oh, he's doing it, I guess I should look into that too. I'll do it too. So we leverage that influence for good.
There you go. There's a first takeaway for today, Mayor. Leverage your influence for good.
Yeah. Leverage. My new one with Mayor is knit that into your scarf.
That sounds a little pushy. Knit that into your scarf. I don't know about that right now.
That's my sweet relationship. I tease her.
Okay.
All right, Kostuba.
Do we have? Yeah, maybe we got to go on to announcements, and then we got a nugget. I think it's time we get back on the nuggets.
Let's get back on the nugget train.
All right.
All right.
Announcements
Meanwhile,
first.
yeah.
We have Back to Recovery group meetings at 1 and 2 p.m. Eastern time today.
This is awkward.
Sorry.
It's right in front of my face.
There. We have Ariel or Radha Dasi is teaching a asana class for our Patreon members.
Formerly known as
Ariel Castillo.
The yoga teacher formerly known as Ariel Castillo. That's how she goes by now.
Okay.
She's teaching an asana class for Patreon members tomorrow at 10 a.m. And Wisdom of the Sages retreat in Italy, June 27th to July 4th. If people want
Now's the time to get serious about that, right? It's like, okay, now we're deep into February. Now you start thinking about your summer right now.
Exactly.
That's one not to miss.
Yeah, we were saying yesterday, it's like it's Krishna conscious adventure. It's Krishna conscious vacations. And everybody wants a vacation from life. We get caught up in the same. So why not take a spiritual vacation? And I will say that I feel like with Bhakti, it's about infusing spirituality in everything that we do. It's like our home life, our work life, our recreation life, our music life, right? Different music is played around the house when you get into Bhakti. You're just playing different music.
Yep.
The way you start your morning, the way you wind down your day, just infuse a little Krishna. We need a little Krishna, just a little longer.
Okay. So why don't we get into the nugget then?
Chris Pitt and Yvette are going to Italy. Great.
Excellent.
He's a couple Italians.
Okay, they have Chris there, right?
It'll be great. Chris belongs there. Okay, this is from Buddhadas Bhikkhu. Who is Buddhadas Bhikkhu? Is he a Buddhist?
Yeah, put that together. Buddha Das. Very good, Ragnar. Very good.
I'm a detective.
Thomas. A treat.
All right. Yeah. Here's what he has to say.
You want me to tell you more about him, or that's good?
Yeah, sure.
He was a famous and influential Thai ascetic philosopher of the 20th century. He was known as an innovative reinterpreter of Buddhist doctrine and Thai folk belief. He
Huh.
fostered a reformation in conventional religious perceptions in his home country, Thailand, as well as abroad. And he developed a personal view that those who have penetrated the essential nature of religions consider all religions to be inwardly the same, while those who have the highest understanding of, it says Dhamma, but I'm not sure if that's meant to mean Dharma. But
Yeah,
anyway,
Dharma. That's how they say Dharma.
that's how they say it. Okay. Those who have the highest understanding of Dharma, let's say, feel, quote, unquote, there is no religion. Okay. Anyway, that's a
Well,
little
we
something.
sort of agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, it gets into semantics, but yeah.
Yeah, I would say we can relate to Buddha Das Bhikkhu. Everybody gets
Okay.
frustrated with and wants to be inclusive. If you're a little deeper, right? You want to see some inclusivity here.
So let's hear what he has to say.
By the way, Dharma, and also, you ever heard this word nerdy thing? Zen comes from the word dhyan.
I think I have heard that.
It's very interesting. Hridaya Dinamarch told me that.
Okay.
Dhyan is Zen. It's just the way they say
Mhm.
meditation in a Japanese accent. All right, here we go. Nugget. The entire cosmos is cooperative. The sun, the moon, and the stars live together as a cooperative.
Okay.
Someone could argue that. The same is true for
Right.
right. Like there's always like a meteorite wrecking
Mhm.
stuff, right? The same is true for humans and animals and trees and the earth. When we realize that the world is mutual, interdependent, cooperative enterprises, cooperative enterprise.
When we realize that the world is a mutual,
Okay.
independent,
The
cooperative,
cooperative
enterprise.
then we can build a noble environment. If our lives are not based on this truth, then we shall perish.
Thoughts, Raghunath?
Well, we are conditioned, not conditioned. We have the ability to live noble lives, to use our higher nature, or we have the ability to sink a little lower, be a little extra greedy, a little extra violent, a little extra lusty, a little extra selfish. It doesn't seem, and I could be challenged on this, doesn't seem like animals take more than they need. They take what they need to survive and they move forward. They don't like
Hoard.
in general
Squirrels.
hoard, gorge
Squirrels do.
themselves. Squirrels do, but they hoard
But
in a bigger.
maybe they don't take more than they need. Maybe they just take what they need for the winter, right?
Yeah. But we have this ability to become extra lusty, extra greedy, extra envious, and it affects the mind. You don't usually have like the mind. It's not like the mind of animals. The animals are doing their thing. They're not attacking you because they're angry at you and they're resentful of you. It's sort of just right. It's just that's what they do. They eat you. They're meant to eat you. Those tigers are meant to eat you. That's part of it. They act a little bit more on instinct, and therefore they don't get the karma that humans get. We have the ability to evolve or devolve. It's pretty simple. I notice it in the course of the day. I overate. That was a de-evolution choice. I ate appropriately. I ate healthy. I used proper oils when I ate. That was an upgraded choice. And there's a culmination of all the upgraded choices and downgrading choices I made that helps me in the continuum of my evolution when this body's no longer with us. So the world is in a very natural state of stasis, but it's because they're working sort of like that. But it's us who we're these wild cards. We're these radicals that have an option to really collapse everything or to assist it to flourish. What do you think?
Right.
What do you think?
No, I think these are great points. To me, this statement where he's saying, okay, look at everything, look at the sun, look at nature, look at the animals, look at the moon, and all, and see how it works together. Take note of it. Like that's an important thing that we do. That we look towards nature. We learn a lot of lessons there for sure. But what he's drawing from it is he's saying everything here is a cooperative. Everything here is mutual and interdependent. It is a cooperative enterprise. And he's saying we all have to realize that, and we all have to learn to live like that. Now, that idea, some people are going to respond by saying, yeah, that's beautiful. Yes, that's what we need to learn. And other people may have an issue with that. They may say, hold it, but the way that you're talking, like when we see this, when we see, let's say, life regulated according to this, when we see there's an effort, let's say a governmental effort to govern based on this, then we see oppression, or we see like people's own individuality gets crushed in the name of the cooperative. You know what I'm saying? So then you always have these left-right tensions, right? Like the left is saying we're a big cooperative and we all have to learn to live together and we all need to live like this, and the right saying no, don't try to take away my freedoms. Life is better when people are more creative and more dynamic, and when they're free to worry about themselves, and be brave and be courageous and so on. And it's rare to find the right balance, like where do you find that balance? But I think a principle here, and it's a principle that's going to come out in what we read from Bhagavatam today, is that both sides have their value, right? The cooperative mood as well as the individual, valuing cooperative effort or valuing individual freedom. The problem is that when we try to regulate it with the government, like when you force, for instance, if you try to force cooperation, force equality, force this cooperative enterprise, you do create an oppressive, we do, historically, we've seen that happen again and again.
Right.
But what really needs to happen is that mood of cooperation, that mood of caring, that mood of sensitivity to others, that mood of selflessness, that mood of giving and charity and kindness and selflessness, it has to be inspired more than regulated. I'm not saying that there's no room for regulations, right?
I like this.
Yeah.
It's like we want to direct, but you can't control. Overly controlling is not the answer either. Right. We've got to lead, not by force, but by inspiration. And inspiration comes. You want to inspire people. It's nothing you can say, all right, you better get out there and be inspired. It's like you become inspired by seeing someone who's inspirational, and that lies on our lap. Like, you now make it a duty of yours to live an inspired life and thus inspire others.
Even what you were saying earlier about animal rights, not much of those animal rights has been regulated by the government. And I'm not saying that it should. I believe ultimately it should be at some point. But what it'll take is like a shared enlightenment. People need to understand what's going on. People need to understand, hey, I'm hurting a living creature that feels just like I feel, just like my loved ones feel. And that needs to be shown and inspired through enlightened people. We need to, and demonstrated, right? Demonstrated, this is a better life.
This is the idea of the Brahmins. This is the idea of the Brahmins, the heads of society. They can't be purchased any longer because they've voluntarily taken a vow of poverty. Why? So they can be give proper advice. They can't be purchased. They can't be bought. They can't. They can't. They're objective. And they become the leaders. They're the ones who are meant to inspire us and direct us. And guess what? You can say, well, there they go, the oppressive class. No, you become that class. you become that. It's not they're an oppressive class. You become. If you want to give up everything, then you can also inspire.
Inspire in whatever circle it is, right? Like some people are rising up and they can inspire thousands and even millions. And some people can inspire locally, and some people can inspire even within their own family, whatever it is, right? But like, we'll read about Brahmanas today, but living simply, being satisfied simply, being kind and thoughtful to others, and cultivating truth, cultivating knowledge, finding happiness in truth rather than in things. That's a Brahmana. And when people have embraced that deeply, they're impressive. They can speak with a type of clarity and a type of detachment that touches people, that moves people. And that's the idea. What we're going to hear, we're going to hear about brahmanas and how they need to be super respected. It's not arguing for some caste system. What it's saying is that society is really wounded if it doesn't have dynamic people that are content very simply and have cultivated a deep wisdom and are capable of sharing it and inspiring people. That society has to have that. Society has to recognize that, cultivate that, and really make an effort to respect, to value that, right? To value that.
Yeah, or else we become the disease of the system, the disease of the bigger body. And that's why I'm going to quote Shelter, a band you may or may not have heard of.
All right.
This is what I was thinking of when we were first starting. Okay, listen to this. From the song Appreciation. I have been born in the age of thoughtlessness, but I too commit the crime of living in this world, considering all to be mine. The earth, the air, the sun, the trees, just like the Bhagavatam just said, or just like Buddhi Das just said. The earth, the air, the sun, the trees, like a body, all work in perfect harmony.
Raghunath, you were connected.
Had you been like reading Buddha Das?
were you reading Buddha Das Bhikkhu's books or something like that?
The earth, the air, the sun, the trees, like a body, all work in perfect harmony. Will we fit into the system or create the disease? Our greatest wealth, it has been lost. I'd like to get it back at any cost. We dare live in a world without appreciation. Appreciate, it's getting late. We've sealed our fate with all the damage that has been done. So much destruction, so a few can have some fun. And I contemplate and I dedicate to getting myself out of this pathetic state of living without giving in a world where we're forced to become so numb.
Raghunath, did that go in the book?
No, it didn't. I didn't put lyrics in the book.
Get back, get some of those lyrics in the book.
Alrighty.
That was great. That was pure Buddha Das Bhikkhu right there.
Thanks. I thought you were gonna hopefully say the Srimad Bhagavatam, but I'll take Buddha Das.
Well, let's find out. Let's read some Bhagavatam and see what we get.
Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayat. Before we start in the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayeshva bhadreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati uttama shloki bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart will become eradicated. And loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Jnana Timarandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chaksurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance. My teachers are opening my eyes with a torchlight of knowledge. I offer my obeisances at their lotus-like feet.
Yeah.
Mara. Where is we, Mara?
Reading from Canto 5, Chapter 5, Text 20.
Text 20.
Text 20. Hi. Okay.
Hit it.
Okay. My dear boys.
You want a little recap. Little recap.
It's been a weekend. We talked about gems. What did we talk about yesterday?
Where are you going? Wait.
I'm just saying we need a recap because yesterday was about gems, ghosts, spirits, planets.
You know what happened? I saw that the title of yesterday's interview had to do with gems and gemology. And
you're like, the dog's off the leash.
Well, not only the dog's off the leash, but I said, just for a moment, I know this isn't true, Raghunath, but for a moment I thought maybe Raghunath bought a bunch of cheap gems in Goa.
Trying to sell them to everybody.
First chance.
Get your gems here that will change your life. Venmo me right now.
Then he started promoting gems on the show. He brought on an expert. And he said, and if you need any of these gems,
it was quite a showstopper yesterday.
Well, he's a sweet guy, isn't he?
Oh, it was very good. Okay. Talked about all types of
Okay.
So all right, recap it.
Okay, let's recap. So, Rishabdev,
Dave.
this is a incarnation of Lord Vishnu in human form, appears in a lineage of kings many, many thousands of years ago.
It's like a metal band, Lineage of Kings.
We're lineage
Go
of
ahead.
kings. So, he rules nicely,
Mhm.
but part of his message to the world that is picked up by Vyasadeva and recorded in Srimad Bhagavatam is to practice devotion and to be careful not to be entangled in the ways of this world. And so he shows by example, I'm going to wander off. I'm going to leave the kingdom behind. My sons are grown. They're ready to rule. And by rule, I mean care for people, right? And but before I go, I'll see them one last time. Almost like the book The Prophet, like in The Prophet where the prophet is about to leave and everybody's asking questions, right? He's leaving one last message for his sons. You okay there, Raga?
I burned my tongue.
Okay.
It's like a daily thing I do.
All right.
Go on.
So
Sorry.
he's leaving one last message for his sons. So far, that message has had a lot to do with living simply, performing divine austerity to develop deeper intellect and deeper clarity of thought. Because you're going to be ruling, you're going to need this. Now he's going to get into what we were speaking about earlier, like also as the rulers, this conception of the rulers is kind of like it may be a little hard for someone to grasp, but the warriors, and I don't mean the warriors like warriors come out and play warriors, right?
Right.
But
Continue.
but I mean, in other words, the rulers there were like men with physical power, right? Like men that were prepared to fight and to defend and to protect. Just like, and I sometimes when I speak about this, I say, think of like those old westerns, right? Some bandits are coming through town, some outlaws are coming through town. Someone's got to put on the badge, right? And say, okay, I'm ready to stand up, pull my posse together, defend this town and protect people.
Mm.
Those people become the rulers. But what's being shared here is that although you've got power and although you have courage, it's all that becomes dangerous if it's not guided by people that are wise and self-controlled, and those are called the brahmanas. So he's saying to his sons, you're all going to be those kind of warriors, those kind of rulers, and that's needed. Society needs its protectors.
Mm.
But understand that you will be able to serve well and serve best when you're guided by people that are deeply wise, deeply detached, that live very simply, that have a lucid, clear thought. Allow yourself their influence.
Right. It's not defund the warriors. It's lead the warriors. Lead the warriors.
Inspire.
To inspire them to act in a noble way.
So that the warriors become practically, what's the term? Like we say, like Raja Rishis, right? Kings that are rishis themselves, kings that take they take joy in wisdom. They take, it becomes a deep part of who they are.
There's always going to be some rogues in society, and you need a class of people who are going to protect vulnerables. And this is so it's not like we should just some
warrior.
Yeah, so some warriors have been like abusive of their power. I get that. We don't want that. But they should be led and they should be checked and they should be educated and they should be
Yeah.
And they should be they should be noble. Okay.
So let's hear about that now.
Text 20. My dear boys, you are all born of my heart, which is the seat of all spiritual qualities. Therefore, Therefore, you should not be materialistic and envious men. Why does he have it and not me?
Yeah.
You should accept your eldest brother, Bharat, who is exalted in bhakti, in devotional service. If you engage yourself in Bharat's service, your service to him will include my service, and you will rule the citizens automatically.
In other words, you'll become good rulers automatically just by becoming servants, right? Thinking in that way. It's beautiful. You were all born from my heart. In one sense, this is a call to live according to one's higher potential, right? One's higher spiritual potential. in one sense, we're all born from the heart of God. You know, we're all born of the energy of God. You know, therefore, don't be like materialistic and envious, right? And again, here, envious also means, maybe especially means hostile, right? Learn to love every living being.
Sure.
So he's saying you've got power, you've got strength, you've got courage, you've got all these things, but also, you know, be soft, be kind, be guided by your higher nature, live up to your higher spiritual potential, care for everyone. And he'll go deeper into this in the following verses.
Okay. Text 21:22. Of the two energies, manifest, spirit and dull matter, beings possessing living force, vegetables, grass, trees, and plants, are superior to dull matter.
Okay,
Stone,
and I think
stone and earth.
Yeah, and let's be clear here. He's about to give a whole gradation, a whole hierarchy, right?
Right.
And I think, you know, that can trigger us too. We'd be like, oh, hold on, why do some people have to be higher than even some species, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like he's not like, let's picture it's different human beings in cars, and if someone said, hey, you know, like the Ford Pinto, you know, or like the Ford Taurus is superior to the Ford Pinto.
Pinto. How
Right?
old are you, man?
The Ford Taurus is superior to the Ford Pinto, and you know, like the give me something like the next level up.
The Ford Bronco.
The Ford Bronco is superior to the Ford Taurus, and you know the Mercedes Benz is superior to the Ford Bronco, and the Porsche is superior to the Mercedes Benz or something like that. There's no harm in saying that that's a better vehicle, but it would be wrong to say that it's better people that drive that car than that drive another car.
Okay. All right.
Right.
I like that. I like that.
Okay.
So there is a gradation of bodies and
There's a gradation of
capabilities, and big deal. And that's okay. She's a
Yeah.
better knitter than me. She's a little bit smarter. She went to private school. She listened. She's better at
She
field
listened.
hockey than me. Okay. I never played that game, but I can do jujitsu and I can choke her out quick.
Not
That's a
quick.
reality. All right. So we have things that we're better at, and then we have things that are there are definitely superior humans than me. I'm okay with that.
right.
But the thing is, that doesn't make them a better being than me. So
That's
there
right.
is a hierarchy of bodies, and the Vedas go into this whole this whole idea of hierarchy, but they push, and you'll hear this again and again, that ultimately that we are a spiritual entity. And that's how we find connection and unity.
And so, although we see the gradation in bodies, look for the equality of the spark within each of those bodies, and that's called
The Atma.
no. Well, after the Atma, I was going to say that vision is called Samadarshana.
Oh,
right?
Samadarshana. I mean, come on, Kostuba.
What?
You can't tell me that a dolphin is not more evolved than like a jackal. Right?
Yeah, well,
Dolphins are
jackals
evolved
got a bad
beings.
reputation.
They do. They do.
Yeah. And when you reach that dolphin body, you can think in a way that's really hard to think like that when you're a jackal.
Yeah, like
When
a
you're in the-
vulture. Like a vulture. They're eating
Yeah.
corpses, right? They're a
Yeah.
little ugly. A little ugly. You know?
The dolphin. What does the dolphin
The
eat?
dolphin, they're like enlightened beings, turtles,
What do they
enlightened
eat?
beings, blue whales, connected to God.
What does the dolphin eat?
What does a dolphin eat?
Yeah.
Plankton.
Does it eat plankton? You see
Plankton.
that? Okay, it's vegetarian, and they're exactly. So we can recognize the gradations in bodies. That's fine. That's important. And what is the gradation based on? It's really based on your ability to feel and to think lucidly and to communicate your emotions and to express your emotions and so on like that, right? A dog can do that better than a cockroach can, right?
Dogs are evolved. Tortoises save lives. Dolphins save lives.
Mara, could you note that down? Tortoises save lives. That is a
Tortoises do
takeaway.
save lives. There's so many stories about. Google that one. There's so many stories about tortoises saving people's lives.
I can't go 10 minutes without hearing one. So many. They're left and right.
Anyway.
So these gradations, it's not putting anyone down. It's recognizing the natural gradations that exist in nature. But again, the reminder is always going to be there. See the spark within them all and respect that spark, because there's an equality on the spiritual level. And we're all traveling through all those bodies back and forth, back and forth. Okay.
Sometimes I feel like sometimes I feel like I got a vulture. I'm like a vulture of humans. I'm like
among the humans, you're the vulture?
Of humans, I'm like a vulture-like human. Like I didn't get
what
the
do you do?
not a great athlete, not tall, not like I lost my hair
Oh,
young.
Raghunath, come
You
on.
know, it's just like a vulture-ish. And I'm okay with that. It's not me. My bulbous nose. Yeah, that's a good example. Jatayu, if you read the Ramayana, he's a vulture. As Radha Swami says, the lowest caste of birds.
Nobody
said
says nice poetry about the vulture, the swan, yes.
yes,
the
the
eagles,
parakeet, the
heroic,
peacock.
Nobody likes the vulture.
No one likes the vulture, but wagtails. Yes, but no one speaks about the vulture in this glorious way. Yet Jatayu, a vulture, is considered a pure devotee of Lord Ram.
Perhaps the most glorified bird. I mean, there's Garuda, but
he's very
the most
glorified bird
in history.
Yeah. He's probably historically the most popular bird out there.
Okay. Well, there's Big Bird, but I think Jatayu is more famous. It certainly has been around a lot longer. We don't know 10 years from now if we're going to be talking about Big Bird.
We won't be talking about Big Bird. We will be talking about Jatayu. We're still talking about Jatayu, and it's been millennia.
That's right. Okay, let's get back into this verse. We're going to hear. There's going to be a couple surprises in this hierarchy. I think you're going to be surprised, Raghunath, when you hear.
Oh yeah, you think?
Maybe.
Of the two energies manifest, spirit and dull matter, being possessing of living force.
Hold it. You got to read this right.
Of the two energies manifest,
namely
spirit and matter,
yeah.
beings possessing living force,
such as
vegetables, grass, trees, and plants. They are superior to dull matter, like a stone or the earth, etc.
Okay, because they're conscious, right?
Because they're conscious beings.
And there's an eternal conscious spark within them. Okay.
Right. Superior to non-moving plants and vegetables are worms and snakes, which can move. They're a little bit more superior.
And they feel more, right? They express
a little bit more sentient. They'll recoil.
Yeah, a little bit more
the snake will recoil if they feel fear.
Hmm.
Right? Superior to worms and snakes.
And what you just said was important, and therefore we need to be a bit more sensitive in how we treat them, because they feel more, right?
Yeah, we don't even eat snakes. Superior to worms, and they're pushing worms now. Have you noticed? Have you picked up on that? You got to eat worms.
It said worms, and now it's going to say.
No, I'm saying they're pushing worms to eat. Have you noticed that?
No, I haven't noticed.
Yeah, people are pushing worms to eat worms.
Who?
It's a thing. It's a thing. Google eating worms.
Okay.
Superior to move it. I don't know who's behind this big worm consumption. The worm council.
Haven't read this verse.
Consumption. What? Okay. Superior to worms and snakes are animals that have developed intelligence.
They're still more sensitive, right? They need to be treated with greater sensitivity.
Superior to animals are human beings.
Okay, now this next one may get you right.
That's triggering right there.
No, not that one. The next one.
And superior to human beings are ghosts.
What?
Because they have no material bodies.
Okay.
Wow. We had a whole thing on ghosts yesterday, Kastuba. Don't even listen to the show.
Yeah,
don't even listen. Just skip that one for you.
Okay.
The whole thing on spirits. People need to talk about it.
All right.
Superior to ghosts are the Gandharvas. This is interesting, huh? Now it's going to give a hierarchy of beings that we don't even know about.
Like Gandharvas, like human-like.
Ghosts. Every one of us suspects ghosts.
Everybody talks about it.
Gandharvas, higher beings, angels. Superior to them are the Siddhas, perfected beings.
Well, hold it. What are the Gandharvas?
Gandharvas are like we could call it an angel of sorts.
They're like humanoids, right?
They're humanoid. I think the Siddhas are humanoids too, meaning they're part of the human species. I think.
I mean, earlier it said humans and it moved on, but in other words, they got 4 arms, two arms and 2 legs, and et cetera,
But they're from higher beings. They don't have.
They're powerful, and they're great
they're
musicians
very powerful.
And singers.
They're good musicians.
They're known for the music.
They're good, probably.
Which is a sign of a higher society.
Yeah, you're good at music. You're higher. Right. All right, and superior to them are Siddhas. They're perfected beings that have mystical powers, and there's planets of Siddhas. It's pretty interesting, huh? Planets of perfected beings.
Anything can happen up there,
And
Raghunath.
anything can happen, and it usually does.
Okay.
You know.
The next.
Okay. Superior. Then there's higher than siddhas. Superior to the siddhas are the Kanaras. Mara.
I don't have much to say about Kanaras. I've heard of them,
Can
but
you,
honestly,
Wikipedia Kanaras, please.
I just know they're superior beings. That's about all I really know.
Yeah, there's some type of higher being. Superior to the okay, it's superior to the Kanaras or the Asuras. So the Asuras, Sura means godly, and the Asuras are those who are against the godly. Well, hold on a second. This just in. What? The Kanaras are half human, half bird creatures.
Right, I've heard that.
Look at that. They're known for their faithfulness.
Known for their faithfulness to their spouse. Broader terms, Asian mythical figure. Thank you, Wikipedia. All right.
Okay.
Part human, part bird.
Part human,
And
part
there's also
bird.
strong association with music.
Strong association with music with the Kanaras. Okay, and superior to them, the Asuras. Now, these are guys who are going against the authority of Vishnu, but they're not
a breed.
a breed of beings, right? And they're powerful. They're like demigods.
It's a high level.
It's not
breed.
like the kid in God in math class who's got the Christian cross with a circle slash over it. No, these are like higher beings against the authority of Vishnu.
And they're yogis.
Higher.
They understand yogic, Vedic, the value of Vedic teachings and yogic practices and so on. They imply them in their independent endeavors within the universe. Right?
Sure, like Bali Maharaj, say.
Bali, Prahlad.
Oh yeah, he was in Sura. He was
born
born
in
in
a
a
family of
Sura
Sura.
family. Yeah. But they get mystical powers. They get yogic rituals. They get mantras, pujas, etc. But they don't do it to please Vishnu. Generally.
Okay. So they're higher still than the
to
Kanaras.
them.
Yeah.
Who's higher than the Asuras? Superior to the Asuras are the demigods. So they have
Asuras.
all those things, but they're they actually put their focus
higher
towards
breed
worship
still.
of Vishnu. Yeah. Superior to
Higher
the
breed.
Asuras are the demigods, and of the demigods, the biggest, most powerful demigod is Indra, the king of the heavens. He is supreme.
Okay.
Superior to Indra are the direct sons of Lord Brahma. So that you have these Saptarishis, and there's actually even more. These original sons of Brahma, like King Daksha. The supreme amongst Brahma's son is Lord Shiva.
Okay, so read that straight. Superior to Indra are the direct sons of Lord Brahma, sons like King Daksha, and supreme among Brahma's sons is Lord Shiva. So we just went through a whole hierarchy from lower than worms up to Lord Shiva.
Earth, like a pile of dirt.
Rocks up to Lord Shiva. Okay.
Now, since Lord Shiva is the son of Lord Brahma, Brahma is considered superior. But Brahma is also subordinate to me, the supreme
Vishnu.
personality of Godhead, is the Vishnu speaking.
Yeah.
Because I'm inclined to the Brahmanas. The Brahmanas are the best of all.
Okay, boom. All of that was just meant to bring us to that last point, right? He's telling his sons, hey, we're going up a gradation of species, and it's going higher and higher. They're getting more elevated, more clear in their thought, more lucid in their thought, more superior in their behavior, etc. And then we get up even to like the Lord Brahma, and even to Lord Vishnu himself.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, but you know what? Superior to me are those wise, simple living, peaceful people in society who give good guidance. You got to respect them. You got to respect them.
Right.
I consider them superior to myself. They're so important. He's trying to, just like a parent does, like a parent will try to invest certain values in their kids, right? And he knows that his kids are going to be really important leaders. He feels it's so important to share, this value that it's essential that you really seek the guidance and you really allow yourself to be deeply, powerfully, positively influenced by these pure living, simply content, wise beings, wise people. And they may look like an ordinary person to you, but I'm telling you, as Lord Vishnu himself, I consider them superior to me. Give them respect.
Beautiful.
They may look like skinny little nerds, Raghunath, with their books.
They're not nerds.
They're
Or
not.
maybe they are nerds, but they're very auspicious nerds.
They're very auspicious. Okay.
You know what? If it wasn't for Krishna consciousness, I would never say the word auspicious. Maybe once. I say auspicious twice a day. Thank
At
you,
least.
Krishna consciousness, for expanding my vocabulary.
Nice.
I would not say phantasmagoria. Ever.
Oh, we're running out of time, aren't we? It's like 5:27.
Oops.
Or here is
How did
5:27.
This went fast.
Well, because
Yeah,
we
we're-
started.
We
Right,
started.
I'm not
late.
wrong, right? We
No,
only have
you're
3
right.
minutes left?
You're right, Kostuba.
Okay.
She's knitting away. She's not paying attention to anything.
Okay, so we'll have more to read about the Brahmanas tomorrow. Okay,
right.
we're gonna go
This is
deeper
good.
into that. This
This
is
is a
gonna be
show.
good, but we got some good work done today on that.
Wish I met George Harrison. I think he would have liked me.
Okay. Now, Mara, here's the
Yeah.
question.
Do you think?
Do you think he was the kind of like a quiet guy, and he kind of had a rep of being like a little I don't know, like, well, I think his autobiography was called Dark Horse, like
Maybe he wouldn't have liked me.
no, I'm not saying he wouldn't like you, but he might not have come right out and
Said
he's not like Ringo, who's gonna be like, hey, I love you, man,
Maybe I'm more like Ringo.
Okay.
But opposites sort of attract.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Even like, I like your energy, Raghu.
I like your energy, mate.
Shut up, mate.
Okay, so Mara, here's the question. Do I need to be queuing up the music, or you got that?
No, I'm working on
All
it.
right.
Wait a second. It's Greg Gaze who says it's George Harrison's 80th birthday, Saturday. Let's do something special.
Maybe. I mean, that means extra work, but maybe. Bring Shama Sundar Prabhu on. That would do it.
Yeah, you do a
Oh,
little.
that's
Yeah, you do a little something or other.
Maybe that
You
could
know
be
what?
our
We got
interview.
George Harrison pastimes.
Mm.
That could be cool. I'm down for that. And then we'll do Q&A on Sunday.
Let me reach out to Shama Sundar.
Reach out to
Great.
Shama Sundar Prabhu. We can promote his book too, because it's all out there now.
Takeaways. When we make choices of
A
integrity.
little closer, Mara. A little closer. Not to the camera, to the microphone. You to the microphone, or the microphone to you.
Working on it. I'm gonna-
I'm writing Shama Sundar right now.
You're on Instagram right now.
Yeah, yes, I am.
When we make choices of integrity, it has a ripple effect.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like that one. That was Raghu early on.
Leverage your influence for good.
That was a very important statement.
Put away your phone.
I'm off duty now.
You're not.
Next-
The show's not
Let's keep it
over.
rolling here, Mara. What's the
Infuse a
next
little
one?
Krishna.
Infuse a little Krishna.
That was
What's the lyrics?
okay. Next.
Not right now. Just focus on the takeaways, please. The universe is cooperative.
The universe is
Cooperate.
reasonably
Raghunath.
cooperating.
Try to cooperate.
We have the choice to evolve or devolve.
You choose.
Lead by inspiration. Find happiness in truth, not in things.
Uh-huh.
Very good. Like the Brahmanas.
Yeah. Be guided by the wise and self-controlled.
Very good. Raghunath doesn't
been
like that.
talking
He's like,
about
do I have to? What was that look?
I'm just reading Yaso's messages on the message
Okay.
board. You're distracting me, Yaso.
Respect the Brahmanas.
Give him some respect, Raghunath.
Yo, give some respect. Yo, respect, yo.
And
And
This better be good.
tortoises save lives.
do.
Yes, they
every
do.
day.
All right, I'm gonna come up with a tortoise life-saving story tomorrow. It's gonna blow your mind, and then you're gonna have new respect, and you're gonna realize why they are a higher living being.
Okay.
Dolphins, tortoises, what else? Peacocks, probably.
We can't hear you. Get a little closer to the mic, right?
Peacocks, probably.
All right. You know what I just realized? Now that Mara controls the music at this part of the show,
You got
I
nothing
mean,
to
she
do.
can end the show anytime she wants. It's like I used to like kick in another song when you and I felt the need for it. But now the music's going to end whenever she wants it to
Now
end.
it's over. She has
She's
to.
got
We've given her
control.
too much power.
You got too much power, I think.
Thanks everybody for joining us. What a great way to start our Monday.